It's one thing to have knowledge, and it is another thing entirely for you to apply that knowledge or live that knowledge or act like you actually have that knowledge. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you some of the things that I have realized over time. It's not like I didn't know them before. I knew some of these things, most of them I knew them before, but I never really applied them to myself. I never really lived it. I never really put the knowledge to good use. And right now, there are things that I kind of regret not doing earlier in life or not imbibing earlier in life. And I want to just, tell you guys some of these things just in case you are still young, you are still upcoming, or even if you're my age mate or even older, it's never too late to start. A lot of these things might apply to everybody. However, I feel like they are going to apply more to women. Okay, so I'm speaking more to women. So the first one for me is that outward show of humility and accessibility actually makes you more undervalued. Okay, it actually makes you more underappreciated. It actually brings insults. In case you did not know, it brings insult. Okay, now I'm not saying you should not be humble. I'm not saying that you should not be accessible to some degree, right? You shouldn't just be closed off. You shouldn't be an island. You shouldn't be like a mini where everybody's afraid of you. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to approach you. You don't have a welcoming face. You don't have a welcoming smile. That is not what I'm talking about, okay? However, if you are too humble, or if you are too accessible to people, or you have a disposition that makes people feel like they are always welcome, it sometimes leads to insult. In fact, a lot of times it leads to insult, it leads to being undervalued and underappreciated. Take it from me. I know that as women, most times we are taught to be humble, okay, be nice, try to smile more, try to laugh more, don't be too stuck up, don't be too this. People will not like you if you're too stuck up. Men will not like you if you're too stuck up or if you're full of yourself. These are things that we hear in different versions, okay? It doesn't mean that somebody is sitting you down and telling you to your face, but in different ways, from what we watch on TV, what we read in books. Basically, how a woman is described, how feminine energy is described, is always so demure, so cutesy, so classy, so humble. But over time, I have realized that all that is a complete BS. I'm not saying that you should just be closed off and stuff like that, right? But you have to be careful the degree to which you are welcoming, the degree to which you are accessible, the degree to which you are humble about yourself, about your life, about your achievements, about your looks, about your hard work, about things that make you unique. You should be careful the degree to which you are humble about it, okay? I'm not saying you should be a proud person, but I'm saying that you should be proud enough of your efforts, of your abilities, of your God-given talents, right? And, proud enough of who you are to not allow certain people in your space, not allow certain bullshit to fly, not allow certain people to take you for granted or undervalue you and your efforts, okay? Because I feel like as women, that's one of the things that we face the most. We are generally underappreciated. I was having this conversation recently with a friend of mine, and I was telling her how even if I see a woman today asking her husband for a private jet, right? I will not feel like, oh, she's asking for too much, or her eyes are too big, or why is she asking for that, right? I will not say that. You know why? In general, I'm now going to moms and wives, right? In general, wives and moms do not ask for too much, okay? Do not even ask for enough in general, okay? I'm speaking in general terms, right? Don't come here with those exceptions. We know that there are gold diggers. We know that there are women who have no self control. We know that there are women who have long throats, basically. Okay, I'm not referring to them. I'm talking about in general. Women actually do not ask for enough, especially when they are in committed, loving relationships, okay? And I don't just mean spouses, I mean even with friendships and even with relationships, we usually don't ask for too much. So you have to be careful the way you are humble, the way you consider other people, the way you don't want to ask for too much, you don't want to inconvenience anybody. My dear sister, they will sit on your head, they will march on your head and waka pass, okay? Even when you do it for men, I mean, like, even when you're dating, if you try to be too humble so that you don't scare the man away, just know that you are setting a pace in your relationship of what you can accept and what you can't accept, okay? You are basically telling the guy how to treat you. So as a woman, you should learn to teach people how to treat you, because if you don't get it right initially, it's very, very difficult to correct it down the line. Okay, trust me. People, even when you teach them how to treat you, they will always treat you a little bit less than what you taught them. Not to talk of when you're now not even teaching them, or when you're now even giving them the list. They will treat you like trash, okay? So you have to be really, really careful about it. I know that many of us, it's actually a very long conversation. I don't want to go into it, right? But I know that many of us, our subconscious has already been programmed to ask for little, to not ask for too much, to not be inconveniencing, to not be too proud, like don't feel yourself too much, you don't just like let other people praise you, don't praise yourself. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that right now. I praise my husband even says, he said that before you even, I've praised myself 10 times. There's nothing you want to tell me now that I don't know about myself, or I've not said even more about myself. I mean, good things, bad things too, though. In my own case, where I get things wrong, I know, right? But where I get things right, I'm not waiting for you to come and tell me. I tell myself every day. Now, another thing that affected me earlier in life, but right now I have tried very hard to overcome it. I used to allow people tell me who I am. Okay, I used to allow people define me. I used to allow people put out a narrative about me, and I won't correct it because I just felt like, oh, I know who I am. That's not me, but whatever, right? I won't correct it. I won't stop you. I won't change your mind. I just feel like, I'm confident in who I am. I don't need to say, like, I don't need to correct you or whatever. Like, that's your business, how you perceive me. That's your cup of tea, right? Now, I still agree with that to an extent. However, right now, I make a conscious effort to correct people when they say certain things about me, or when they try to define who I am to my hearing, in my presence, to my face. If you try to define who I am to me and I don't agree with that, or that is not who I am or who I think I am, I will correct you immediately. Now, let me give you an example, okay? So let's say now we're talking about, people who can deal with, let's say, stress, and people who can't really deal with stress, or people who are generally, I don't know the example to give. I don't want to give examples that are too specific, right? But let's just say now we're talking about people who are energetic, okay? For instance, people tend to write me off as someone who is not energetic because I am quiet and I can be introverted, right? So it's almost like, because they know one thing to be true, they think that every other characteristics that is associated with that particular thing applies to me. Does that make sense? And it turns out it is not true, because I can be very energetic. I can be very up and doing. I can be very active. Okay. In fact, I am very active. I am very energetic. I am very up and doing. I just don't like stress. Okay. But when I want to do something, I don't walk slowly. I don't walk slowly. I don't talk slowly. I dance a lot. I can do leg walk. Forget my size. I can do leg walk. I can dance for hours without taking alcohol, mind you. Okay. I can be very energetic, let me put it that way, right? I can do things, I can even do some things that are very hard, like stressful, hard work. I can even lift heavy things, right? I just don't want to do it. But me, before, if people make such assumptions about me, I just let it slide, because again, I don't like stress. I don't even think I'm strong. Don't think I'm strong at all. Just act, see me like that, right? But I then realized that even in important situations where I need to be recognized as somebody who is strong, they just carry the same narrative and put on my head. I now find myself trying to either combat it or trying to argue about it or whatever, just because it's a narrative I allowed stick. Okay? I don't know if you guys are getting my point. I'm just all over the place with this point. But if you get it, you get it, right? So don't allow narratives about you which are not true stick just because you don't want to bother correcting people, or to each his own. You can think whatever I want to think. No, you can think whatever you want to think. But if I am there to my hearing, in my presence, do not say things about me that are not true. Another example is, because I'm quiet and I am generally non confrontational, people tend to assume that I'm the kind of person who carries people in mind, or who holds on to grudges for months or years, just because I'm not somebody who is quick to confront people and attack people when they wrong me, right? So people who generally are confrontational or tend to speak their minds immediately, they feel that, oh, when I speak my mind, when I confront people, I let it go, and I don't hold things in my heart. So automatically, you who doesn't confront people, who doesn't generally attack people or say your mind, then it must mean that for years and years you are carrying people in mind. But the truth is that that is not the case. The truth is, for some people like me, I'm not saying that's the case for everybody who is quiet and introverted or non-confrontational. I'm saying that for people like me especially, I'm not confrontational. I don't necessarily, attack people and stuff like that. But I let go. Okay, I sleep well at night. I let go of that thing immediately. I forgive. I rationalize things in my head. I make excuses for people. I squash beef internally, and I move on. So I might not come and tell you, oh, this is what you did to me wrong. This is what you did to me. This is what I don't like. This is what you. I might not do that. However, it doesn't mean that I'm carrying you in my mind. I just moved on. Okay, you're just not that important to me for me to carry beef in my mind about you. Okay, Rich. Basically, I'm not saying you're not, important, but I'm just saying you're not important enough for me and to my heavenly race for me to carry you in mind. If I have to carry you in mind, or if something is paining me so much, I will eventually say it. But the fact that I didn't say it does not mean that it is now in my mind. It's just that maybe it's not even that important to me, or it just did not pain me enough for me to carry you in mind. Simple. And now that same thing applies to my kids, and that is why I am working really hard on that part of me, because I noticed that there were cases where I allowed people post narrative on my kids in my presence, and I was just like, I don't want to bother going into explaining to this person why this person is wrong, right? Simply because I felt it didn't affect my kid's life. Like, it's whatever is an assumption about my child, that's your business, right? But right now, no. If you say something in my presence about my child which is not true, whether it is harmful or it is not harmful, whether it's a harmful narrative or not, I will correct you, especially to my child's hearing. And it happens mostly with people who kind of know us, okay? People who know us to an extent. They don't know us deeply, but they know us to an extent, right? So they say things like, oh, Eva is like, I'll be like, no, Eva is not like that, okay? Eva is not like that. I'll correct them that this Eva you are looking at is actually like this. This Eva you are looking at is actually like that. I've even had people that watch me in my comment section try to put some narratives out there about my kids or about my husband. See, if it's something that is very serious, right? If you come and write something very, very, very serious and very stupid, I will delete your comments and I will block you. Okay, I ain't got time to be replying you and be trying to correct you, okay? Because your own is obviously foolishness. Okay, so it's obvious that I don't need to even, like, you don't have the capacity to get it. Let me put it that way, okay? You don't have the facilities or the capacity to get it, so there is no point replying you, right? But there are people who is not coming from a malicious place, but it's just what they think. I will reply you and tell you, no, that's not who my child is. That's not who my husband is. That's not who I am, right? I will reply you. I've gotten a comment before and I blocked the person anyway. I don't know if I've talked about this before, right? But I once got a comment from somebody calling my child, calling Eva in particular, an Olodo, right? I don't think I have addressed this before because I just didn't want to put it out there. Like, I just didn't want to talk about it. But now I think I'm okay to talk about it, right? The person made a comment that Eva is an Olodo because of the way Eva talks. You see my kids talk, right? Cora is the more like chatty person. She's very good with conversations. She's very good with keeping conversations. She's very good with talking. Very good with accents. Very good with telling stories. That's Cora for you, right? Eva doesn't really talk too much. Eva is more like me and my husband, okay, when it comes to how we talk, right? Cora is like me when I am being extroverted. But when I'm being normal, when my husband is being normal, that's what Eva is like, right? Eva doesn't talk too much. Eva picks her words when she talks. That's where me, I'm different. I don't pick my words when I talk. In fact, I struggle with it till today. Eva picks her words when she talks. She talks calmly. She talks like my husband, basically. She talks calmly. She picks her words when she talks, and she doesn't talk too much, okay? You will need to press her for her to really, like, open up and be very chatty. Except when she's really, really excited. But even when she's really, really excited, she's not even as talkative as Cora, when Cora is just normal, right? So I put out a video where Eva and Cora were talking about something. I can't even remember the video now, right? And then somebody went to my comment section and said Eva is an Olodo. And I think I've even seen a similar comment before. The person did not use those words, but the person kind of insinuated that, Eva is not as smart as Cora, something like that. I remember deleting the comment, but I didn't take it personal. I just deleted it because it just felt like nonsense talk, right? But this Olodo own, when I saw it, I was confused, first of all, okay? Then I now laughed it off and I deleted it, okay? Now, why that kind of confused me is that Eva is actually a very, very, very extremely smart person, okay? Now I'm talking about in terms of Eva and her peers, right? In fact, I think I've said it to you guys before that Eva is the only child I have so far who has gotten 100 over 100 in every single subject. Every single subject. 100 over 100. I mean, in Nigeria, right now, I don't even know how they grade them. But in Nigeria, Eva used to get 100 over 100 in every single subject. Eva is that child that is usually quiet, but when she talks, everybody turns. Everybody turns because her vocabulary, her thought process, her reasoning, her voice when she wants to be serious. See, Eva can talk like a baby. She can be doing yeah. In fact, she whines a lot. I used to call her, why are you whining? Why are you doing winner? She can do winner a lot. Like all this she can do it a lot. But when she's serious, when she wants to say something serious, when she's inquisitive or when she's interested in something, because she can also be very hyper focused on things, right? When she talks, the voice changes, the disposition changes, the words she says, how she says them, everybody will turn and wonder who said that. Like, is it that child that just said that, right? That's Eva for you. And that's how she has always been right from when she was small. So imagine that kind of child being called an Olodo. Like, I don't even have any child that you can call dull. I don't have any child that you can even call average. They are all extra, okay? Yes, they're my children. Yes, I'm being impartial, whatever, that's your business. You say your own children are dull, that's your business. All my children are extraordinarily special, okay? All of them. However, Eva is that child that still turns heads whenever she speaks, right? That is when she speaks seriously, not when she's doing winner, okay? So imagine that kind of person being called an Olodo, like from where to where. And those are narratives that some parents, let's say now you're not a very smart parent, let me put it that way, okay? Some parents are not very smart. Let's say you're not a very smart parent. Someone now comes and said, this your pikin now, Olodo. Say as they talk now. You two, you now laugh. It's true. In fact, some parents are the ones that even on their own say such things about their kids. They call it joke. They say they're just teasing their children. They call it joke, but they are pronouncing negative things on their children's lives. So yeah, for my children's sake, for my sake, no matter how inconsequential that narrative is, if it is wrong, if it doesn't align with the truth, if it is negative, I will correct it on the spot, okay? Now, the next one on a lighter note is more about your physical health, okay? If you are a woman, you are losing a lot by not exercising. You guys, I've always known this, so it's not a new thing to me, right? I've always known this. I've always talked about this, but did I implement it? No. Did I do it? No. Did I try? Yes. But did I give up too soon? Yes. Okay. But you are losing a lot by not taking your supplements, by not eating right, by not exercising. You are losing a lot. And some of those things you are losing, you might never be able to get it back. Okay. Now, I know that childbirth is actually a big factor in why so many women's health go down, right? Many of us, we are of optimum health, okay? Our record was pristine, okay? We were doing very well health-wise until we started getting pregnant and started giving birth and started going through postpartum struggles and the stress and the mental stress, the physical stress. Many of us gained excessive amount of weight. Many of us lost a lot of nutrients that we did not replenish. So many things happened. Many of us are still going through. To be honest, this is my 4 years postpartum, okay? Because Sophia is going to be 4 in December. And it is just right now that I now finally feel like myself, okay? I now finally feel like, okay, I'm not in a haze. I'm not daydreaming. In fact, the past few years have been kind of a blur to me because I was always in survival mode. Okay, I feel like for the first time I am not really in survival mode. I'm now relaxed. I now sleep more. I even had to reduce some of my physical work because I wanted to get my cortisol levels down. I'll talk more about it, but that's I wanted to reduce my stress a lot, and I feel like that's what helps me to lose weight. Because to be honest, I've told you guys several times, I'm not one of those people that stresses to make lose weight. In fact, opposite. Whenever I am stressed out, I eat a lot. I don't sleep well. I'm, up and doing, and I just gain so much excessive weight. Okay, so right now that I have, first of all, I stopped posting on my second channel. I don't post even on this channel as much as I used to. I'm not even on Instagram and stuff like that. I try to sleep more. I try to watch TV and just watch for the sake of watching, and I sleep and have spend time with my kids and stuff like that. It is only now that I have started feeling better, and now I have started exercising as well, and I now feel like a normal human being. God, you guys, the funny thing, when I wasn't normal, I did not know that I wasn't normal. Okay, I felt like I was normal because I was used to being that way. But now that things are now changing in my life, I'm like, how did I cope all those years? How did I survive all those years? Okay, so these are things that we don't really talk too much about, but I feel like we should have that conversation. In a different video, I'm going to go more into it, right? But if you're not exercising, if you're not eating well, if you're not, taking your supplements, if you're not reducing stress, both whether it's a human stress or is a whatever is stressing your life, remove it. Okay, I'm not saying you should be lazy. I'm not saying you should not work hard, but whatever is stressing you, especially, okay, remove it. Now, if it is your children, if it's your husband and children, then find a way to, change things so that they don't stress you as much. But you are losing a lot by not doing it, okay? And you're losing time as well. Time is going. Some of you are gaining excessive amount of weight, and you're not losing the weight because you feel like, I have time, one day shall lose this weight. You are gaining excessive skin that when you now finally lose the weight, you might not like your body as much. I'm not saying you hate yourself. You won't hate yourself, but it would have been better if you did not gain that amount of weight and now lose it, because you now have excess skin to deal with or some other health issues to deal with. Okay, so I don't want to be too preachy about it, because to be honest, like, I'm not the best candidate to even be preaching that kind of thing, right? But I'm just saying that just take it seriously. I beg you, my dear sisters, take it seriously. Like, just try, no matter how little, try. For instance, today I was supposed to go to the gym, but I didn't go to the gym because I woke up tired. Okay, just do something every day to try and help yourself. Okay, because I don't know how to explain this, but right now I'm looking back and I'm like, how did I cope all these years without exercising, without eating right, gaining excessive amount of weight, holding on to so much stress, doing too much? I know that some of us, we can't help it because, it's either financially you are struggling, or, or you don't have as much help as you need. I totally get it, okay? But just try, my dear, just try, just do a little every day, and then it adds up. Okay, instead of you trying to correct years of, because I'm trying to correct years of neglect. Okay, I'm still trying to correct it. So the last one for me, I've actually talked too much, is true happiness comes from helping others. Point blank, period. Case closed, dismissed, and the church says amen. Let's go home. Let's share the grace and go home. No, but seriously, true happiness, true joy, true satisfaction, I mean the one that is from your deep within, true joy, true satisfaction comes from helping others. There's no two ways about it, okay? If you're not doing something for other people, if you're not doing something to help others, if you're not impacting lives in one way or the other positively, you will be miserable. Facts. You might buy all the nice things in the world. You can make all the money in the world. You can, surround yourself with all the nicest things that the world has to offer. But if you are not doing something to help other people consistently, you are not going to be happy. You are going to keep trying to fill that void with more things, buying, add to cart, delivery, hey. You are going to keep going around, spending your money, going in circles, trying to fill a void that would have been filled if you are just giving out to other people. It sounds counterintuitive, but it is the fact. Okay, that's what gives you true joy. That's why you see all these millionaires, billionaires, they spend so many years amassing wealth, much more wealth than they can even, enjoy. Okay, like they can even spend much more, like millions, billions. I mean, you're just one person, or you and your family are just one family. How do you spend all this money? But they keep working for it, amassing it. Why? Because they're trying to fill a void. Then it gets to a stage, they start giving it all out. They now realize that, you know what, I don't need all this, I don't need it. They start giving it all out. Okay, a simple, more relatable example is people who are hoarders, or people who are always keeping stuff around their house. The house is so cluttered, they are always depressed, they are always sad, they find it hard to clean, find it hard to organize, their space is always dirty, always smelling, always, even the ones that are not dirty, it's not dirty, it's not smelling, but because you have too many things in your space, you are not as happy as you thought you would be. Until you take away some of those things, you remove some of those things, you're still not going to be happy. So just take it from me, okay? True happiness comes from helping others, okay? So that's why it is my life's mission right now to help as many people as I can help. If it is through speaking on social media and giving talks like this, I'll do that. If it is through financial help to people that I can help, I'll do that. If it is through giving away my things, or helping people on the streets, or just helping keep your society sane and livable, that's something, okay? Especially in countries like this. I don't think in Africa, well, in Africa we actually do, in Nigeria we actually do, but I feel like in countries like this, even without, because most times in Nigeria, it's just churches that do charity work that much, okay? Churches and some NGOs, right? But here, NGO, church, mosque, everybody, but atheists, everybody, they find a way to volunteer and just, do good and just help other people one way or the other, right? I'm not saying that their society is the best or the way they do things are the best, but I'm just saying these are some of the things that when you see, it just makes life better for you and for those around you, okay? But anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are things that I wish I've always known them, but I wish I had lived them more, okay? Let me know those things. Let me know which ones apply to you. And if you have anything that, you want to add that I did not add, then please leave a comment in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe. Check, okay? I know that you think you'll subscribe, but please just check and make sure the button shows subscribed, okay? And then send this video to your friend, or send my channel to your friend, and just tell your friend to please subscribe, okay? Please, I need the numbers to go up, okay? Please. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.